Hello and welcome to Edinburgh Watch Company. My name is Jonathan, and on today's video I'm going to talk to you about and show you one of the all-time classics. This is the Rolex Submariner Date. Now you can see more about this watch by visiting our website at edinburghwatchcompany.co.uk, and there you'll see some photographs, technical specification and pricing. So this watch we have here is one that we bought locally here in Edinburgh. It was supplied new in 2015. It is a full set watch, something that we're particularly keen to offer you. We think it's so important to have all the boxes and papers with a Rolex when you're buying it. It gives you confidence, helps the residual value, and also when you're coming to sell it again, whether you're selling it privately or to a dealer, it does really make a difference. So with this watch you have the outer box here, you have the green Rolex Wave box, you have both of the original hang tags, and then you have the instructional manual here, and then you've got the balance of Rolex's 5-year international warranty until 2020. So it's just effectively as it should be. Now the Submariner Date has been out for a very long time. However, in 2010 Rolex introduced some key differences to the classic Submariner when they introduced what's known as the ceramic one. So just a quick run through of what they are. First of all, it has very much and importantly retained its look and feel of a Rolex Submariner. So at a distance it will look very similar. Still stainless steel, still a 40mm case size. But what Rolex have done, I think, almost like cars, if you think of like Porsche, you can recognize a Porsche 911 from a distance, whether it's a 1970s car or a 2019 one. It's the same with the Submariner. But the watch has evolved, and to do that, they've looked at the watch and said, right, well, how can we make this watch better? So, for example, if we look at the bezel insert on the classic Submariner was aluminium. Again, very nice, but it could, through time, pick up scratches and little chips. So they introduced a ceramic bezel insert, and this took a lot of thought and a lot of research and development to do, but its objective being it's going to be stronger and more resistant to those scratches and chips that you potentially could get, not only on like a stainless steel bezel, but also one with an aluminium insert. So that was one of the key things. They also slightly widened the case lugs here. So this is this bit here, just beside the top here, slightly wider than the original classic series. On the dial, they introduced a Maxi Dot dial, slightly larger dots around the hour marker, but they also put this really strong luminous coating on it as well, so slightly easier to read at night time. The movement, again, a chronometer automatic movement, very much tried and tested, very accurate. This one will be performing to within -4 to +6 seconds per day, so again, very good for an automatic watch. For those that want to go diving, well, the Submariner's not changed, it's still 1,000 foot. But for divers, they thought, well, how can we make the bracelet better? If you're wanting to take a watch off the wrist, put it over a dive suit, how can we make it easier without needing any tools? And to do that, they introduced the Glidelock clasp, and I'll show you that when we have a closer look at it. The bracelet became more substantial, all the solid end links are now standard on the watch, a new design deployment clasp. And overall, just a superb watch. I think if you had a Rolex collection, this would have to be one of them. The Submariner is just that stable watch you'd want in your collection. It's something that just does everything so well. Something that can be worn with a dinner suit, a t-shirt, a suit, whatever you like. And that's for guys. We have ladies wearing them too, so there's no reason why a lady couldn't wear this watch wanting something a little bit bigger to wear on her wrist. We can size that bracelet down for you. So that's a quick summary of some of the changes that took place in the watch. Let's now have a slightly closer look at it here, and I can show you these in detail. So the stainless steel on this watch is what Rolex call 904L grade stainless steel, and this is all manufactured in-house, and it is the best of stainless steel, as you'd expect from Rolex, and they've tested it thoroughly to be resistant to all sorts of chemicals and general day-to-day wear. This is the bezel I was talking about here, so it's slightly thicker than the older ones, but in solid stainless steel, but the insert here is ceramic. Being a diver's watch, where typically you'll be using an oxygen tank, you want to know how much oxygen you have left in your tank, what you'd want to do is you'd want to turn this bezel to your minute hand and then set it so you'd know when the minute hand comes round to say 30 that you need to start resurfacing. And it's unidirectional, so you cannot turn it backwards because you wouldn't want it under water pressure to accidentally go backwards. And when you've finished, you can reset it back at the top here. These are the hour markers I spoke about here with the Maxi Dot dial. Again, very good strong lume. Also on the hour and the minute hand too, and the little dot on the second hand there too. This is the date version, so we also sometimes get the non-dates in stock, but this here you can see you have the Cyclops window there giving you a 2x magnification on it. Despite being a diving watch that will take you down to 1,000 foot, it's actually remarkably thin, which from a day-to-day point of view makes it really practical because it'll fit underneath most shirt cuffs. It's not too heavy to wear. And here, where you can see that they have slightly increased the width of the case lugs here compared to the older one, I think its purpose been to actually give you like a bigger footprint on your wrist. It has a combination look of a polished and a satinized look to it here. So on the side of the case there you can see it's polished. Same on this side here. You've got the quite prominent case lugs there to protect that crown. And this crown, you can see where it bears the Rolex logo. Also, this screws into the inside of the case there just to ensure it does remain watertight. But when we move away from the actual watch itself and we join this beautiful Oyster sports bracelet, you can see it's all finished in a satinized look there, with the exception of the side here that's polished. It then joins the deployant clasp there. You can see there here you have that Rolex classic logo on it here. And it's unlikely to fall off your wrist because it's got a safety clasp on it here. So first of all, we have to open this here, and then this here. The older models in this part of the deployant clasp there were pressed stainless steel. They then introduced solid stainless steel. So the whole watch just has that slightly more substantial feel than what you get in the older generation Submariner. Now one isn't better than the other. It's just changed. It's just evolved. And we've still got a massive following for the classic Submariners. It's really, I guess, each to their own as to which design you'd like. The Glidelock clasp, however, is fantastic, and it all stems originally from the Rolex Deep Sea. The Deep Sea came out and they introduced the Glidelock clasp on that, and it's slightly different in the way that you can just pull part of the clasp up here to adjust it, but this one does really what it needs to do. So what happens is you take it off your wrist, you want it a little bit bigger, all you have to do is pull the bracelet like that away from the clasp, and then if you see here, it slides. So easy to do. Not even for putting on and off a diving suit, but for those days where you have it set at this position here, you wake up, it's a bit of a muggy morning, or maybe you're away on holiday, your wrist has expanded a bit, you just want it a little bit bigger, you pull that, slide it down one click, put it back on again. So easy to do. Really, really clever design. Case back there, again that very traditional Rolex look to it, no engraving on there. In fact, it's actually quite a clean palette there, so if you ever want to do it engraved, then that's all possible. Now my wrist size is 8 inches, so as you can see here I'm wearing a 40mm watch here. It's a good size for me, but this is just lovely on the wrist here. So this just clips shut there. And that just gives you an idea of size on the wrist there. And again, not too thick, goes underneath the shirt cuff, absolutely perfect. So that is the Rolex Submariner. So just to recap on this particular watch, this is a 2015 one, all its box and papers, lovely condition, balance of Rolex's 5-year international warranty, and one that will just last a lifetime, and then the next generation too. Anyhow, that's the end of this video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch today's video. We've got hundreds more videos coming along. We've also got a lot of videos on watches we've previously sold, so maybe if you're looking for a particular watch, why not go and have a look through our sold watches. You can see that on our YouTube channel, you can see it on our website, you can see it on eBay and some of the watches we've sold there too. Thanks for watching today. Bye bye.